My name is Asia Brown. I'm the mayor of Compton. And that title to me just means the biggest servant. And so I'm going to briefly go over a few things that we're doing. We have so many initiatives that have already started or that we're in the process of starting. But I really wanted to see what you all are focused on so that I can spend the most time kind of elaborating on what those programs look like and hopefully hook, line, and sink you guys in for those programs. So I will get started. Before I was elected, my vision for Compton really came around 12 points that I believe are essential for a healthy community. And I believe that we needed our city's policies to be updated, and we actually needed to have specific plans in place so that we can look at Compton today and move us to Compton in the future that we all want to see. And we all know that we all may have good intentions, but if we don't lay a plan out, more than likely it's not going to happen. And we can take a look at it just in our own personal lives and our own personal finances. If we don't have a budget, more than likely we're not going to hit our savings goals. So those are just some of the things that we're putting in place here in the city of Compton. My second point was improving transparency. I believe that the city should be as transparent as institutionally possible. I want to say humanly possible, but as institutionally possible. And that just means that our residents should know what's going on. We should be able to have as many platforms as possible to share information. One thing that we're working on right now is redoing the city's website. So we'll have a new platform that's user-friendly, that you'll be able to log in and put your email address in for certain issues. And so when there are key updates that come up, you'll get an email and you'll know exactly what's going on in your community. We're adding new platforms for various departments so that depending on what your issue is, it'll take you to the various departments. You shouldn't have to go on a website and try to figure out where you need to go. And we know that right now if you go to our city's website, it's a little bit difficult to navigate. And so we're making it user-friendly. And that will actually be completed in the next 120 days. And so we're very excited about that. And also, if you all have an Android phone, download the city's app. It's a free application where if you see graffiti, you can take a picture and you can send that in to code enforcement and they'll take care of it. I believe the iPhone app is coming in the next couple of weeks, and so we'll keep you all posted with that. But that's a free app, and it's a great way to know what's going on in the community. There's a park schedule. So, for instance, we have a new tennis academy that's happening on the weekends and during the week for seniors, for adults, and for kids. And so you'll be able to get critical information on things that are going on in your neighborhood. The third thing is to improve efficiency. And I think we'll see these improvements throughout everything that we do. But we're really just trying to reduce waste, trying to cut down as much red tape as possible. And that means from the business community to a personal resident. We are doing things within City Hall to make certain that we can have a clear process. For instance, if anyone has opened up a business in the city of Compton, they know that that can be a difficult process. And so what we're doing is we're streamlining everything. You'll be able to know how long it's going to take for you to be able to go through the various improvements and also get your different certifications through fire department, the health department. If you want to actually expand your business, there are just certain things that you need to do, but you'll know exactly how long that's going to take so that you can properly plan. The fourth thing is the city's finances. We all heard about the city was in a $40 million deficit. That $40 million deficit was very real, but I'm very happy to report that for the first time in several years, almost a decade, the city has a positive operating budget, which means that we are in the black as of today. A great team in place. We have an excellent city manager. We have a great controller. Our city attorney is working well together. We truly have people that want to see the city move forward. And so we re-implemented the financial controls that allowed us to actually amass this great deficit. And so we're paying down the deficit every single year. And then we're also, of course, spending less, and we're finding ways to generate more revenues. And so one instance is that the casino, which we know have been in Compton for a very long time, they were paying the city about $20,000 a month. And so we had renegotiated that contract, and now we're receiving about $150,000 per month. And so that increase in revenues are just some of the things that we're looking at to make certain that we are receiving the revenues that we should, and then we're also attracting new businesses and corporations to come into the city of Compton. And so we have some really great things we're working on, and in the next couple of months we'll be able to make some of those things public, but we're focused on economic development and job creation. And that kind of goes into the fifth thing, which is local economic growth. And we'll talk about that a little bit more with the initiatives. But when you have a healthy local economy, then you have a healthy community. All of our young people want jobs, adults want jobs, we need jobs to be able to sustain ourselves, and so we're looking at ways how we can properly rebrand the city and then properly be able to show prospective investors the opportunities that we have inside of the city of Compton so that they can invest in Compton. Another side that we're doing for the existing corporations we have here and our small businesses, creating a link, and then also making certain that we buy Compton. So there are large corporations in Compton that do extremely well and they do business, but we want to be able to connect them with our small businesses so that they can be able to provide services back and forth. So we're opening up the channels and making tools available to make that a reality. Number 6 is improve business relations, so we kind of talked a little bit about that. We know that we have a Chamber of Commerce here in the city of Compton, but I believe our chamber can do more. I think they can do better. I think that they can really focus on various parts of the city and then be able to provide services based off of what is needed in that area. So what the city has done, we took a step back from investing in one chamber, and we're putting our resources into creating a robust Compton Chamber of Commerce where we'll allow the existing chambers to be able to partner with us, but that we'll be able to maintain a standard and really be able to provide the services that businesses will find attractive once again. Number 7 is improving public safety. We all want a healthy and safe community, and so one thing that I started since being here is a community policing task force. You all may recall back in August that we issued a community emergency, and that was really as a result of the spike in homicides that we were seeing in our community. In the month of July, we had 22 homicide deaths that were gang-related, and that's, it's truly unfortunate, and we don't take it lightly when one person dies. When you have 22 people dying, in a month's time, that's an emergency. And so what we did, we worked with our law enforcement, and we came to the table to see what type of law enforcement changes do we need to make immediately to be able to curtail that, because one thing we don't want to allow is murders to escalate. And we have to be responsive. We have to get on top of things. We can't just hope that things change. And so we provided additional investment. We had additional 12 officers on the streets. In addition, we were able to get some additional resources from the county at no cost to the city. We also created a community policing task force that really, for the first time in Compton's history, brought all of our law enforcement officials together on one page toward one agenda. We had the FBI, we had the DA's office. The DA has a special gang task force unit. We also had our sheriffs, we had our school police, we had municipal law enforcement services, and we had everyone working together on 2 main issues. The first issue is child and human trafficking, aka prostitution. The second was gang violence. And so that task force has done phenomenal work, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, but as a result, in September, the homicides that occurred actually dropped a little over 40%. And in October, if we continue on the path that we're on, we'll have the lowest crime rate that Compton has had in almost 5 years. And so we are really hoping that this great activity continues, and it really is a partnership with the community, because what we all have to do is decide that we are not going to allow crime to continue in our community. And we've had people actually reporting crime. So we've seen in the news where there were 3 homicides that occurred in the city of Compton a couple of weeks ago. And actually 2 were actually in the city and 1 was in the Willowbrook area. But those suspects were actually apprehended. And that's kind of the follow-up story that we usually don't see in the news. And so I just want to assure you all that our sheriffs are doing a phenomenal job. We are really making certain that we can keep our streets safer. Keep our streets safe, excuse me. The 8th thing is youth development. Many of us are here because we're concerned about our kids. And I believe that in order to really have a safe community, you have to focus in your kids today in order to reap the harvest at a later date. And so we want to make certain that our kids not only have a great education, but that they have mentors, that they have enrichment opportunities, that they have health and wellness, that they have self-esteem, that they can articulate themselves, that they have exposure to various opportunities to make sure that they can broaden their whole horizons. Because my husband and I have worked with kids in the city for the last 4 years, and a lot of our kids have never even seen the beach or the mountains. And so it's our responsibility to just take a couple of kids and expose them to new things so that they can, dream higher and reach higher. The ninth thing is beautification and street improvements. We have a monthly cleanup going on now in the city of Compton that we started. And so every month at a neighborhood near you, you can help clean up our community. And the hope is that as we continue to clean up our community, that the mindset will change for other people, that they won't continue to, just throw trash on the ground, or we'll think twice before if we see someone write a graffiti to, report it or tell them to stop it. And so we've had great turnout at our the Mayor's Monthly Cleanup. We also partner with the Compton Initiative. The Compton Initiative has been going on in the city for the past, I believe, 8 years, and I've been a part of it for the past 4 years. But Pastor Porter, who was over that, they do phenomenal work. They have no hidden agenda. They don't make any money off of the city. They provide the cleanups at no cost to us. And so that's a great organization. So what we've done for our monthly cleanups, we build them around the quarterly cleanups with the initiative. So we're not competing with them, we're supplementing what they're doing. So every month you can clean up in the city of Compton. And the great thing is they touch our schools, they touch our seniors' homes, they touch veterans' homes, they do things on Compton Boulevard. So we're really making some great strides. And to date, the Compton Initiative have painted over 600 personal private residences. And this Saturday was the quarterly cleanup, and we had 1,600 volunteers in the city, making the city better. And their slogan is "Just do good." So we had 1,600 people in Compton just doing good. So that's phenomenal. The 10th thing is culture and arts. It's truly important to provide a balance, and I think our kids, they need enrichment. They need to know where they've come from. They need to respect other cultures so that they can have pride and self-esteem about themselves. And so what we would love to see is a gallery, to have an art night, to be able to have various programs available to really expose our kids to all types of culture and arts, and also music as well. The 11th thing is a citywide emergency response plan. This is important to me because I know we don't have a set plan in place. If there is ever a national emergency or even a local emergency, we are all at risk. And so the city, we are doing emergency preparedness planning, but I really believe that we need to make certain that the community is tied into it, that we have a network of churches. We have over 200 churches in the city of Compton. So that means almost on every block there's a local church. So we can link those churches into this one plan. People will know where to go if they need assistance and resources. The 12th thing is the Healthy Compton Initiative, and this is near and dear to my heart because when you have a healthy life, you really can, it changes your whole outlook, it changes your self-esteem, it changes the way you view things, your mental capacity is greater when you eat healthier, and our kids, we are seeing the effects of, and I don't know if anyone has really, I'm sure many of you have recognized this, that now more children are being diagnosed with bipolar disease, with ADHD, ADD, and all of these different disorders that almost really didn't exist 20 years ago. And so we have to really look at, well, what's going on different today than 20 years ago, and we have to point to the food. And so when we look at the additives and the amount of food that we're eating and then the lack of activity, we have to really do something about that. And so we are waging a war against obesity, childhood obesity, and obesity in our community. So we're going to talk about that as well. So in a nutshell, those are the 12 points. I'll spend more time in the areas that you all have interest so that we can get some teams together. And then I'll leave room for questions as well at the end. I spoke a little bit about the Community Policing Task Force. And so our partners again are the sheriffs, FBI, Los Angeles County, the DA's office, Compton Unified. We have intervention and prevention nonprofits. And how you can help is if you would like to be a mentor. As a result of the Community Policing Task Force, we started a Big Brothers program. And so this program is targeted toward young people, young middle school men, so our young men. We also have something that we're putting together for young women that will start at the beginning of the year. So if you're a woman and you're interested in being a mentor for the young ladies, still sign up. But we are focusing on at least getting 50 men to mentor our young people. And so this program is all set up. We actually have a software that we're using to track our kids. And we are going to start at one middle school to really see the impact of changing the culture of a group of young men together. And so it's going to be free for the kids. One component of it will be the physical fitness aspect, and that's really just to get the discipline together. And once you can get your mind together to push your body, then you can almost do anything. And it's really to get our kids mentally tough. We know our kids, a lot of them are, my husband, he played football, and so we kind of joke around and say, a lot of the kids are powder puffs these days because, they don't want you to tell them anything. You tell them something that they don't like, they almost flip out. And so we have to get back to basics and make sure our kids are disciplined, because if you're disciplined, then you can be successful. There's no success without discipline. So we got to prepare them for the real world and make certain that they can really pass the test of life. And so we're doing the physical fitness component, but then we're doing the mentorship component. So we'll have men available to teach them how to be men. We'll also have the educational component, which will be focusing on the first module. It will be an 8-week mentorship program, but the first session will be reading and public speaking. We know a lot of our kids are falling behind at the reading level, and so we are going to have some great curriculum to get their reading skills up one-on-one. They'll be reading through novels, so they'll have to do verbal presentations. We want our kids to be articulate and also be able to project and also to be able to have a high self-esteem. And so we believe that allowing them to be able to read well and then articulate what it is that they're learning is going to do wonders for who they are in combination with the discipline. And then having strong men examples. I'm a result of a single parent household. I have a twin brother, and my brother is doing really well, and I just thank God that he was able to, do what he did. But there's a lot of kids that really need to see a male, and 2 and 3 kids in Compton Unified, they're from single parent households, and so I believe if the men can come together and really put their arms around our young men, they can do wonders for them. And so we're really excited about that. And so if you know of some upstanding men that want to be a part of this project, let us know. And it's not something that's going to be all year. So if you only have 8 weeks, that's all we need, and we'll get a new set of men for the next 8 weeks. And so what we'll be doing is doing 3 8-week modules, and we'll have some space in between, but we'll allow the kids to graduate to the next level. When they graduate, we'll give them nice blazers with crest, and then we'll allow them to go back and be mentors, peer mentors. And so it'll be kind of a great cycle. And we're focusing specifically on the middle school because there is an existing high school mentorship program that's already in the high schools. And the mentorship program actually started out at my church, Faith Inspirational, and they have a group of men, and so now they're on every campus. So when our middle school boys get old enough, they'll be able to go right into this feeder program. And so that's why we're starting with middle school. And then also with the task force, the other part of what we're doing is focusing on, so we have the gang prevention and intervention, and then we have the child and human trafficking prevention. So we have a group of dedicated people that are working with public safety initiatives and PSAs. And so we created a campaign to really combat prostitution, to combat drugs, and other just social ills that we are dealing with. I remember when I was growing up, they had the Just Say No campaign. And so we're coming up with something new, and we're using the kids' terminology. They always say, I'm going to turn up or turn down. So our campaign is called Turn Down on Prostitution or Turn Down on Human Trafficking and different things like that. So we're going to have a whole peer-to-peer PSA-driven campaign, and we have some really great ideas and some great things in place. And so there's actually a committee that's working on this. So if you have some good ideas or you think you want to be a part of it, but we'll be rolling the PSAs and the whole campaign out in January and throughout the high schools and middle schools in the district. So that's already in place. And then also going back to the mentorship program, it would also start in January. And so if you want to be a mentor, I'm kind of rolling back, but if you want to be a mentor, we actually will have screening. We have a panel of people that will be doing interviews. I don't take it lightly when we're working with people's kids, so we have a group of wise people that are going to be able to interview the people to make sure they're okay, and then you'll be live scanned. So just let the men know that, you will be live scanned, and that's just for the safety of our kids. The next phase of that is we're going to be doing parenting classes for our parents, because a lot of parents don't believe that their kids will be touched by child trafficking, but what the reality is, the pimps are going to the middle schools and recruiting the girls, and then they're also connecting through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and so we're going to be giving our parents the tools that they need to be able to be in front of what's going on here. So we'll be uncovering all of those things with the parents. So the PSA will be geared towards not only kids, but parents as well. The next event or initiative, is Coffee with the Mayor. And the whole thing with Coffee with the Mayor Of course, you can have coffee with me and I can have coffee with you, but it's to improve transparency. You know, I want to be able to be accountable to you all, let you know what's going on, ask your questions. A lot of things get kind of misconstrued when you're out in the community. You hear a lot of rumors. So you can come, coffee with the mayor once a month and ask your questions. We can give you the information. You know, I have nothing to hide. I'm only here to, you know, to be of service to the community so you can get up-to-date information on what's going on. And how you can be a part is, if you would like to organize it, right now we have it at Starbucks on Rosecrans and Central, but if you want to be an organizer, if you want to host a coffee with the mayor at your local church or with a group of people that your senior citizen center, let us know, because our whole goal is to be able to move to different places throughout the community, and if you would like to host it, then I will be there, and it will be your coffee with the mayor. Then the next initiative is the Compton cleanup. I talked about that. And it's really just about beautification and ownership. I think what's really lacking in our community, well, what was lacking is civic pride. I think people are just, as a whole, and of course not you all because you guys are out on a Wednesday night, but the majority of people, they just don't have the same level of care for our community as we used to have, you know, in years past. So we're hoping that we can inspire people to, you know, care about their community. I work with kids, and sometimes when I take them to another city, I notice that they'll be, you know, looking everywhere to find a trash can. They won't just throw their trash on the ground. And so we have to make certain that we have the same mindset when we're in our own community. And so if you have a passion for people, you know, or if you have a passion for keeping the city clean, then you definitely can be a spokesperson for not only this program, but inspiring your neighbors to get involved as well. Because I tell citizens all the time that we can literally have a clean city in a matter of 5 minutes if everybody goes outside and picks up all the trash they see in front of their own home. Compton will be clean. And so it's all up to us. Our partners are local churches. The great thing is we have awesome churches. So if your church would like to partner with us, what we do is we go in every district. So we started the first monthly cleanup in the the 4th district. We'll be working back up to the 3rd district. We'll go to the 1st, and then we'll end in the 2nd, and we'll keep going. So we actually had 2 local churches that partnered with us, and they provided breakfast for our volunteers, and then another church provided the lunch, and the city provides the bins for the cleanup. We provide the water and the trash bag. So it's really easy to do a cleanup, and we also helped paint the graffiti and all of that, and we do the noticing, and so that's a great way. So if you have a church, or you think know of a church that will want to partner with us, let us know, and we can contact them and see if we can work together. The next thing, which I'm really excited about, is the first annual Church and Nonprofit Symposium. So what we are doing is we're bringing all of our churches, all of our nonprofits together for a luncheon, and we're going to be going over the key issues on the 12-point plan that we talked about at the beginning of this, and we're going to see how our churches can really partner. The thing that I've found in churches is that there are so many great churches in Compton that are doing great things, but nobody knows about them. And so what we're going to do is get an inventory of all the services that the various churches are providing, how many people they can service, where their service levels are currently, if they're looking to expand, what they really want to focus on. And then my ideal would be that every church could really be able to provide a certain, even if it's 2 services. If every church, if we can diversify it, we would have everything we need in our community. And then the next step will be to have a social media connection platform. So basically a church directory. So if I'm a lay citizen and I go to the City of Compton's website and I'm looking for assistance in my community, I can go to we'll call it the resource network or something like that. I'll go to the resource network and maybe I need tutoring for my kids. And so I'll say, well, I live in the 3rd district and I need tutoring on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because that's when I have time to take them from work. Then I'll be able to see what churches are providing that service. And so that's what we'll be doing for our churches and our nonprofits. And then also for the weaker nonprofits, not weaker, but the newer and not as established, we'll be connecting them with more established nonprofits so that they can get the experience with providing the service, and hopefully within a couple of years' time, they can expand and be able to provide even greater service to the community. So we're about strengthening and then expanding. And so our goal is to be able to reach all the needs of the community. And I truly believe that we can do it with what we have. I think that all the needs can be met through us. And so that's what that is going to be geared to do. And how you can help is we need organizers, we need volunteers, and we also need community outreach. And so just basic things as when we have our platforms together, you can just be assigned to take them to, your local churches or have them in your businesses, or if you visit a few senior homes. It's really just everybody just taking a little piece of it and being able to take it to the community. And then also, if you are interested in helping to volunteer for the actual specific date, let us know, because we'll need people to just greet the nonprofits. We'll have everything organized, so if you want to just be able to help with that particular event, let us know. And that date is, I believe it's November 15th. The next initiative are community commissions and block clubs. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with the commissions that we have in the city of Compton, but we have a lot of commissions, and we have a lot of commissioners. And so what my goal is to be able to put one agenda for all the commissions so that we all can be working toward the same things. And we have a lot of vacancies, and we're having a training at the beginning of November for people that are interested in being commissioners so that they can get the proper ethics training, and then we can actually appoint from a good group of people. And then let me go back to the block clubs. So the whole goal will be for us to have a block club in every neighborhood. The city has, to my knowledge, about 30 block clubs, and we have a lot of neighborhoods, a lot of streets in Compton. So we need people to start block clubs on their street. And it's simply just being able to meet if it's once a month and be able to provide information to your neighbors. So that is truly critical because we have a big information breakdown. We have a large percentage of people that will never ever go to the Compton City website. We have a large percentage of people that will never go to Facebook. We have a large amount of people that will never call City Hall. So we need block clubs to be able to get information out to the citizens. So if you are interested in starting a block club, I hope you signed up under that sheet. And if you haven't, then we'll make sure we lock you in because it's very easy to start a block club. And it's a great way to really change the atmosphere on your street by getting to know your neighbors. And it's also a great way to improve safety on your street because the streets that have active block clubs, they have no crime. Because when they see somebody suspicious on their street, they call the sheriff, or they call one another, and we take care of it. So it's a great way to improve the safety in your neighborhood. The next initiative is Fit and Healthy Compton, so health and wellness. I have some health and wellness professionals here. I'm excited about that. And the plan is that it's twofold. The first thing is we're going to have a big kickoff in January, and it's going to be a citywide health challenge. And so I don't want to just focus on people, trying to lose weight. We're going to have people that want to bring down their cholesterol, that want to bring down their blood pressure. We're going to allow people to make certain that they get health screenings like mammograms, that they can really be able to know what's going on with their body. And then it's really going to be a day of health and wellness. So we'll have a fair. People will be able to learn how to make, healthy smoothies and really be able to see how food impacts their blood sugar, see what their protein needs are, all of those things to really see, how you need to fuel your body. So we'll have a big day here at the beginning of the year. And so if you're interested in partnering to make that event happen, I hope you all signed up under that. And we have interest from various healthcare providers. So the whole thing is to make certain that our city is locked in, everybody's loaded, everybody has healthcare, everybody knows what to eat, how to eat, where to exercise, how to exercise, and all of that. And so that's just one thing, and that's it's kind of like a jump start. And so that's one big event. And then the other thing is that we want to make certain that in every city park, we have a lot of small pocket parks in Compton. So my vision is to make certain that in every park we can have one particular type of exercise component going on a Saturday morning. So maybe Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. you can go to your local park and take a yoga class or maybe take a boot camp or some type of health and wellness at your local park so that if there's something that you know you can do on a Saturday. And it's really to build community. One thing that we'll be doing is having an adult run club. We've already started a youth run club as a partnership with Nike West. So every Saturday you can bring your kids to the step of City Hall, and there is a trained professional to help your child learn how to run, and they go over a little bit of things of how to eat and how to fuel yourself. And so that's something that we could do for the whole family. So we're looking at doing that as well. And how you can help is if you are a health and fitness organization, you can definitely play a huge role. But I would love to see our local fitness people. I'm just going to talk to you guys sitting right here. So since you have this great facility, to see how we can incorporate our young people on a regular basis, and of course our community people as well. And then one thing I'm really pleased to announce is that as part of the community center, which is currently under construction, there is a gym where we're thinking about doing something where people can have a membership, so that you can actually not only have 24-hour fitness in the local gyms here, but you can have something you can access on city facilities. So we're working on that as well. But the whole goal is to get moving. If you take one lap around the whole city hall square, that's 1 mile. So just the little things and really making certain that we can get out and together. And my ultimate goal will be when I see people that are able to jog at night, because that means that our community is safe and that we're actually, have health and wellness and that we have a nice, healthy community. So that's one of my goals here, is to make sure that we can see people just jogging at night or walking their dog at night. The next initiative is the Business Roundtable. So we talked a little bit about the local businesses and the Chamber of Commerce, what we're doing to strengthen that. But we have to be able to have a network. And I think what I see in other thriving cities is that they have a really strong local economy, but they have a good balance of businesses. And so what we have to do is to really identify what businesses are in the city of Compton in a platform. We can do some shared marketing to where, for instance, I know you all are familiar with business improvement districts. Well, we may have something that we can have a small self-assessment, but we can make some areas safer, improve the lighting, share some of the marketing costs. We have opportunities for the city to do banners, to really just do campaigns, but really to get our business environment back on track. And I think that we've seen a lot of great improvements in that department. We have some new retail still coming into the city. We did a groundbreaking about a month ago at the Gateway Town Center. I don't know if y'all are familiar, where they have the Target and the Home Depot, where there's a second phase that's actually going to have a Marshalls, an Ulta, a Petco, Chipotle, a Starbucks, and a couple of other smaller retailers. And there may be a grocery store, and we're still working on a sit-down restaurant. So we're working at getting some more food options here in the city of Compton. But there's some great opportunities for our smaller businesses to be a part of that and just capitalizing on that synergy. And so as a city, what we're focusing on is revitalizing downtown. So we want to see a walkable downtown. We're really want to see Compton Boulevard be the Compton Boulevard that it used to be. My mother would tell me that people would come from all over Los Angeles County to get everything that you needed, that they had, almost 2 of everything. And so we want to make certain that Compton Boulevard can be beautiful again. So the city's going to do our part, and we're focusing on doing a streetscape revitalization plan that will widen the sidewalks, that will improve the lighting, adding new lighting fixtures, additional foliage and a median to actually slow down traffic, to make it like a traditional downtown. And so the city owns quite a few parcels, and we are actually working with some interested investors that want to come into the downtown. So we are just casting a vision of what it can be. And so it will be great if you know people that are in the area, and if they would, if they're considering moving to downtown Compton, just contact our office so that we can kind of put some paths together. But that's just where we're going in the future. But in the meantime, we want to make certain that our existing small businesses can sustain themselves and be healthy. So sharing resources, sharing different co-ops are really important. And I think that the stronger one small business is really dependent on the other small businesses around it. And when you have a great small business, usually people are going to be visiting the small businesses in that whole entire area. But we have to supplement them with different uses. For instance, if you have a karate shop, our kids go to karate in the evening time, where you drop them off and you usually want to get something to eat, because most times you don't have time to cook. So you can get something healthy to eat around that area, or if there's tutoring or different things. So it's really about making the combinations of uses that work. And so those are some of the things that we're working on as well. And how you can be a part is that if you have a local small business and you need specific assistance, if it's marketing, If you provide certain services, or if you want to be a partner, or you want to find out how to reach out to the community, let us know so that we can plug you in. The next thing is education, youth development, a Saturday enrichment program. So I received a lot of interest from educators that want to do Saturday school, and so I'm a product of going to school on Saturdays. I used to cry and complain that I had to go, to Saturday school, but it worked out well. And something as simple as learning how to build a computer or doing electrical engineering. I started doing calculus when I was in elementary school. Computer science, all you need is a classroom, a chalkboard, and a couple of components that really don't cost very much. And so we are looking at some STEM programs, and we're working with a couple of schools, a high school and a middle school here, that have opened up their campuses to us. And so all we are putting together our educators. So it doesn't have to just be on STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. If you want to do a reading Saturday academy, if you want to do an art Saturday academy, if you want to do a music Saturday, whatever your interest is, let us know, because I guarantee there are kids that want to be a part of that. And so that's a great opportunity. And the great thing is we have the space at the schools. So we have open doors to come in and be able to provide these services to our kids. The next thing is a youth sports clinic. So we know that we have a big need for organized sports in the city of Compton, and I've spoken to so many passionate coaches that, we need sports back in Compton. We have to take our kids to Linwood, or they have to go to Carson. And so what we want to do is bring sports back to Compton. We are now in a great position in terms of our parks to be able to reprogram our parks. And then we're also working with Compton Unified School District, which we have a board member, Satchel Sarita, who just walked in. She's working very closely with our office on various initiatives, but we are looking at a few schools to see how we can repurpose those schools for soccer fields. Our goal is to be able to have every single type of sport here in the city of Compton. So if you happen to know any coaches that would like to play sports back in Compton, let us know. Because I'm working with a couple of different sports leagues, and then also with Compton College. So what we want to do is have a whole system of sports back in our kids. And back in our city. And then on the city side, we're looking at a couple of park improvement plans that can actually improve our parks and really be not only a city draw, but a regional draw. And so as we continue to meet, I'll be able to give you guys more information on that. But our goal is to make certain that we have some good facilities for our kids. And so we're working diligently on that right now. But in the immediate, what I need your help is if you know people that are engaged in various types of sports and they want to come back to the city of Compton because they either have a lot of kids on their team that live in Compton, please let us know. We're immediately working on soccer with AYSO. I would love to see football, baseball, and basketball, and also tennis, and then golf as well. I know we have a representative. We had one from the golf organization, and they are great because they have kids from almost every school in Compton for free. They learn how to do golf at the Compton golf course, and so we have almost every resource available here, and so we just have to take advantage of them. And so again, if you know different coaches, or if you have an idea that you want to do, or it doesn't even have to be traditional sports, if you have another type of idea, I'm totally open as long as you want to kind of own that program. And what I would do is just be able to connect you with the resource so you can have a place to make that happen. Okay, we're almost finished. That's the last two. Okay, and then this is just an update, and for you all just to be aware, some of the new policies that I've been able to implement. I actually started this legislation as an employee, and it's called a first source hiring program. And what this does is it makes certain that all new city assisted or partnered projects or construction projects in the city, 50% will actually be mandated to go to local residents. And so the difference between this policy and maybe something like affirmative action is that on the front end, when we are making the actual development agreement, when we're looking at the construction contract, when we're looking with our general contractors, we are actually going to look and see what type of classifications are going to be used used on that project, either in the construction phase and then also at the finished stage. And then we'll be able to kind of forecast the demand and then work with our local workforce hiring agency and actually be able to do specialized trainings for our local employees, our local residents, because what usually happens is the general contractor says that they couldn't find a qualified worker in Compton. And so they had to bring in their people from outside the community. And, I've worked in this field and I see it all the time. And so what I'm saying is, well, on the front end, if you need 10 plumbers, if you need 15 electricians, if you need 17 journeymen, I'll have them. Because we have 3 years before this project is going to start. We have 2 years. Even if we have 1 year, we can get our local people in a training program that's specialized for that project, and they can pull from the list, ample people that are skilled, trained, and qualified. And so that's the difference, and this is what this legislation does. And so we're really happy about that. And what that means for us is that when we have all of these public improvement projects, or we have any type of private project that actually is a partnership with the city in terms of the city gives them land or they get a discount on land, it's an automatic trigger for this to come into effect. The other component of this legislation is that any private company can be a part of this. If they say, I want to voluntarily be a part of the first source hiring program, the benefit that they'll receive is free marketing and promotion for their project. We'll also freely train our people to be able to work on their project. We actually have partnerships with a few apprenticeship organizations that are going to be providing scholarships. So that means that union dues will be paid for special people that meet various criteria. So we have a full system in place to be able to make sure that our local people are ready for these jobs. And the last program is culture and arts. We would love to develop a platform for artists within the city to highlight their work and display the rich culture in the city. We have so many great people that have come from the city of Compton. I speak to news outlets pretty regularly, and they always want to talk about rap music. And I tell them that, I'm not going to put rappers on a pedestal. There are so many great people that have came from all walks of life that have made a tremendous impact, not only on the nation, but internationally, that have come from Compton. And so I would love to be able to highlight those people and their work and give our kids something to aspire to. And so what we would love to do is I would love to see a museum in Compton. We have so much just rich history, and even if it's something as simple as, a portrait of some of the great people that have come from here and a brief bio, just so our kids can really see where they've come from. I would love to see curators and artists come together. We can do events at various city facilities. The transit center is complete. That place will be great for an art show in the summertime. We have a sound system already in place, so we can have music there. There's music, if you guys have been to the farmers market, there's music being played on the PA system. So we have some really nice areas that we could, make open for some great networking activities and just for a great time. So I would love to see some various events in large and small. And how you can help is if you have a program or organization, or if you are an art curator, or if you want to open up a warehouse in the city of Compton, and or if you want to have a museum or whatever you would like to do, or if you know some people, let us know. Because I've met quite a few people in the city of Compton that are interested in arts. So let us know what you would like to do so we can plug you in. I'm open to what people would like to do, because I don't want to tell you what I want to do to a T. I have some parameters, but people have great ideas. I'm not an expert in everything, and so if that's your expertise, let's make it work. And so that's what we're looking for in that. And so to close out, everyone signed in, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And then I'll be happy to answer any questions that you all will have. Yes.
Mayor,